Hey everyone, Travis here at the end of day one of the LCS Spring Split 2014, joined by HotshotGG. Hotshot, earlier I was tweeting about all the different ideas of who CLG was going to use with the hashtag CLG casting couch. Here we are on a couch to discuss the situation. So you decided to put yourself in. Was that, like a hotshot decision or like a team decision?
Roster decisions are always based on what the team thinks. We sat down, and we just listed off options, and I was like, so Prawley, and they were like, I don't know, I don't really know Prawley. I'm like, he's pretty good, and he's like, and then Doublelift was like, I don't really know how he plays, I don't know who he is, so I feel uncomfortable with that. And I was like, hey, how about a jungler? How about this guy, Night Blue? And he's like, no, no, no. He's like, why don't you just play? And I was like, I don't know. Like, if he asked me like a couple months ago, I was like 500 LP challenger spamming like 14 hours a day. Um, I would have been like, yeah, yeah, buddy. But I hadn't been really spamming solo queue as hard, and I hadn't been like up to the level I wanted to be. So I agreed, but yeah, it was mostly the team.
I like how you said it's a team decision, but then I sat down with Doublelift, and Doublelift said no, no, and then he said yes, and then he said you should do it. It makes it sound to me like Doublelift is the team.
Well, Doublelift was vocal about it, so everybody still agreed to it. So yeah.
So Link seemed to do okay in the jungle. Was this what was the deal there? Because it seems as though there was a sort of this dark sort of whispers of a time when Link was going to be jungling, and that's what allowed him to be okay here.
Well, Link's pretty good at every role, and except for top, but he's pretty good at every role. And I play jungle to just start off, and I wasn't as good as like I never played jungle, so it didn't really fit well. Like even the games I did well, we didn't win. So we tried me mid, and it seemed to work a lot better. But again, I was still behind all these other NA mids. Like I was really, really kind of like kind of down because I play against Shifter, he's really good. I play against Mountain Cloud, he's really good, and I play against the LMG
LMQ.
LMQ sorry LMQ mid laner, and he's really good too. So I kind of got pooped on, and so I had to train against these guys, and I kept having to lose over and over, and it was really discouraging for me. Eventually, near the end, I started to do a little bit better, but yeah, that's only near the end.
Well, we saw three champions banned against you. Do you think that that was just were they banned against you, or were they just sort of like, oh, these are strong champions in this meta, they got to get banned?
Casson's a strong champion, and he kind of needs to get banned. I play him, so yeah, that was a good ban for them. LeBlanc, I mean, LeBlanc is LeBlanc, and I'm pretty good at her, so I guess they want to target ban that. And then the third one was
Ziggs.
Ziggs, yeah. So I've been practicing a lot of Ziggs lately, so Ziggs is pretty face roll and beats Katarina, so he probably just wanted to ban that.
Now, obviously, you guys were pretty hush hush about this. Were you expecting to catch Dignitas off guard?
I assumed they knew I played mid because I have like 40 games of Cassio on my solo queue page, and if I was playing jungle, I would be spamming jungle and solo queue. So that wasn't really a surprise, but I did like some cute things. Like I named my first couple rune pages, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I made them all jungle pages.
Okay.
And then this is on the tournament run, by the way, just to see if they scout me out. And then like deep down in like 11, 12, and 13, 14, I like named them. If I get banned, I'll play these.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I tried to like do some mind games like that, but I'm pretty sure they didn't fall for it.
I like that next level stuff. So while you were in that game, you were playing Nidalee. We saw Skara on Katarina. It was a very classical, season two kind of deal. Your spears were like homing beacons that hit every single one. Hotshot. So what? How did you manage that?
Well, okay, so there's a trick to playing Nidalee, which when you throw a spear, right? You stay in cougar form, and then you pounce, and then you leave cougar form, and you throw the Q, and it makes the spears really hard and unpredictable. And I did it a few times, but I very rarely did it. And the reason I very rarely did it is because that puts your cougar form on cooldown and also puts your leap on cooldown. So I knew that if they caught me, I would die. And I was like, if I was more confident in my champion, I would I would have done that, but I was really, really nervous. I did not want to throw the game, so I was just like, okay, I'll just stand in human form. They can see them like daylight, and if they miss, like they misstep, then we'll take advantage of it. So I just kept throwing a bunch of spears. That and I was really nervous too. So
There was also, I think, one or two really aggressive pounces. Like at one point in time, you were in mid lane, sort of on the side, and you just were all four of them. The Kazakhs went in, and you're like, "I'm going in too," and you just pounced in. Was that just sort of the nerves, or was that just your playstyle?
no, that was actually on purpose. I knew that Cat couldn't burst me. I actually got lower than I expected to, but I knew I could get out. So Cat ended up blowing everything on me, and we ended up cleaning up that fight. Kind of. I think we should have won that harder, considering like they all went on me and then I lived. But yeah, it was a little nerve wracking, and I think I'd made the right decision to do that. It was probably better to just burst than poke down because I wasn't landing in that many spears anyway. So yeah.
I was sitting in the press room with Dan watching right as you guys won, and you had this huge grin on your face, and Dan's like, "Oh, he likes being in the spotlight again. It feels good." How much of that is true, or were you just happy to get through the game and have the win?
I was happy that my our patience paid off because usually when we play as a team in scrims and stuff, I'm doing all these like reckless things to try to outplay mid, and I like this game I had none of it. I was just like, I'm gonna play defensive. I'm just gonna survive. I called Mia every single time. A cough double if was his fault. And I like pinged. I pretty much made it really clear that someone was roaming, and so we went through laning phase pretty okay. It should have gone better, and I should have landed more spears. I should have landed way more spears, but I think I'll be a little bit more. I'll be a little bit less cautious if they stop playing like champions like DFG, Katarina Rush, Leona, like Elise. All these champions are really, really prone to CCing, and I had no cleanse. So.
For a really long time, CLG had this reputation of always doing much better when it had subs on the team. I think actually most of your wins and victories have come from times when you had subs. Do you expect a 4-0 this weekend?
I don't know about 4-0, but we'll see how it goes. I think Cloud9 is going to be a little tough because we scrim them a lot and they kind of know what we play. But yeah, we'll see.
So I hear outside, just on the other side of this door, Double Lift and everyone kind of yelling at each other, and maybe like a mildly aggressive manner. What's the general sentiment on the team after that game? Because I know that you guys were talking about how there's a crazy pipe going through here. I know how you guys were talking. You came up and you said like, "Oh, we're happy with the win," and I think Double Lift even said this on the broadcast that he was happy to have won, but he was somewhat disappointed in maybe the performance of the team overall in that game. What is the thoughts on the team after that match?
Everybody after the game, even though we won, we were like, everybody said I suck at the same time. Like Zach said I suck, I said I suck, and then Link was like, "Oh, I fucked up hard." Like Peter was like, "I played bad," and then Afro was like, "I suck." So like I know there was a kill where Afro was trying to like bait with Annie, and I was following Katarina, and then he missed a Tibber stun or like he got engaged on or something, and then Katarina cleaned up Double and Afro. So like everybody played pretty bad, worse than we should have, and I think we were a little bit bittersweet, like.
Do you have any shout-outs, anything you want to say here at the end of this interview? There's tons of hype out there from all the fans. I know you haven't had a chance probably to check your social media, but people went berserk when they saw you come in and play mid. So anything you want to say to them or just in general?
Yeah, thank you for supporting CLG, and I hope I do better next time. I've been practicing really hard these upcoming days to hopefully give a good showing and hopefully give CLG a good start. And thank you to our sponsors, Azubu TV, Razer, iBuyPower, and NZXT.
Very good. Thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on your win. It was fun to see you back on Italy again, just like old times. You can check out the rest of our coverage of CLG's ongoing battle in this week with HotshotGG hanging out there with his homing missile spears at oddgamers.com.